Hello, my name is Zaire Dunnigan, and this is my presentation on the Topic 6 benchmark for EDU 525, Foundations in Elementary Education Graduate Studies class. I will be discussing the following topics: my program description, licensure or certification requirements in the state of Maryland, expectations of my role as an educator, reflections on my teaching practices, and my learning goals. Hello, and welcome to the presentation. In this section, I will briefly discuss my program of study. I am currently enrolled in the Master of Education in Elementary Education program here at Grand Canyon University. I enrolled in this program to complete my initial teaching certification requirements in Maryland. I am currently employed at Prince George's County Public Schools as a conditional hire as I work to earn my teaching certification. This current class, EDU 525, is a part of the Master of Education in Elementary Education program at Grand Canyon University. This program offers the following courses listed above. These courses aim to prepare me to obtain my initial licensure as an educator in elementary education. The process to gain initial certification in Maryland starts with an approved educator preparation program that is either traditional or alternative. Traditional programs that lead to a degree are completed at approved colleges or universities. Alternative programs complete courses that lead to certification, but do not necessarily lead to a degree. After completing the educator preparation program, the next step is to submit Maryland certification assessments. Two types of testing are required depending on the GPA presented with transcripts. If the GPA is less than 3.0, a basic skills test is required for initial certification. If the GPA exceeds 3.0, then the subject and pedagogy assessments are only required. After the initial certification, the certificate is valid for a set amount of time and must be renewed with certain requirements outlined in the renewal process. Teaching is important because it directly impacts society. Educators are responsible for teaching the next generation and helping them become well-rounded individuals who can benefit society. Children learn by watching the adults around them. Students learn from their teachers by watching how they model behaviors. Teachers are many things to students, including role models, touchstones, influencers, and inspirers. Educators play a major role in shaping the education of students. It is believed that positive attitudes among teachers play a crucial role in the successful implementation of inclusive education. Teachers' positive attitudes towards inclusive education can contribute to create a more inclusive learning environment and utilizing more effective teaching strategies. Teachers' attitudes are crucial in implementing instructional reforms and effectively practicing inclusion in education. Positive attitudes towards inclusion among teachers lead to adjustments in teaching strategies and curricula to meet the diverse needs of students with disabilities. I aim to model these behaviors, including my dispositions, to my students. The following dispositions of learners are important to me: curiosity, compassion, and fairness. I chose these dispositions because they align with my character. According to Grand Canyon University, educators should promote social justice and equity, maintain appropriate standards of confidentiality, and exercise fairness in all areas, including assessment. I believe in modeling fairness to my students. I do not engage in picking sides and employ a method of due process, hearing out all parties and gathering information before deciding. There are 5 principles under the Model Code of Ethics for Education. These principles are: Principle 1, responsibility to the profession; Principle 2, responsibility for professional confidence; Principle 3, responsibility to the students; Principle 4, responsibility to the school community. And Principle 5, responsible and ethical use of technology. Principle 1 is about holding oneself and peers to higher standards than just the law and policy. Principle 2 concerns the educator's high professional and ethical standards. Principle 3 is about how the educator must promote a healthy, safe environment and student well-being. Principle 4 is about how the educator should promote healthy, appropriate relationships within the school community. And lastly, Principle 5 is about how educators should be mindful of communicating electronically with others. Luckily, I have yet to experience a situation where ethics were questioned or brought up. However, it is important for educators because it allows for universal standards of acting and conducting business. Maintaining and upholding ethical expectations within education is important because educators are the industry's frontline. Educators are the individuals representing and interacting with the community. Maintaining ethical standards allows educators to set boundaries and establish a protocol for approaching problems that arise. I plan to maintain these standards and utilize them within my practice. There are two main teaching styles: child-centered teaching and teacher-centered teaching. Child-centered teaching focuses on the student's learning through exploring the concepts and figuring out things independently, with the teacher facilitating content guidance. In these learning environments, students are the focus or take preference. A child-centered approach considers that all students are not the same and that each student learns differently. A child-centered approach tends to result in learning experiences for students that are more cohesive, transparent, and intentional. Teacher-centered teaching focuses on the teacher providing instruction and engaging students' mastery of course content. In these learning environments, the teacher takes preference. Instruction is conducted through the teacher, and student engagement is seen as passive. Teacher-centered learning is considered the traditional method of instruction. The process of a teacher-centered approach runs the risk of resulting in a poor learning experience for students, where they do not know what they are supposed to be learning. A teacher-centered approach has benefits. However, it risks treating learners as passive and uniform, which can demotivate the students from learning. The professional dispositions of learners. The Model Code of Ethics for Educators, and the Interstate Teacher Assessment and Support Consortium standards are essential guides for teachers as they work to develop their practice. These standards, designed to ensure that educators are prepared to work with all students, provide the basis for teachers' knowledge, skills, and values. The PDL provides a framework for teachers to develop their practice in the classroom. Dispositions are a combination of values, commitments, and professional ethics that shape how educators interact with students, families, colleagues, and communities. These dispositions directly impact student learning, motivation, and development, as well as an educator's professional growth. The Model Code of Ethics for Educators is a set of guidelines designed to assist educators in navigating the challenges and complexities of pre-kindergarten through 12th grade education. Developed by the National Association of State Directors of Teachers Education and Certification, the MCEE helps educators establish ethical conduct, mindfulness, self-reflection, and decision-making principles. The Council of Chief State School Officers develop a set of model core teaching standards that demonstrates what they know and what every K-12 student needs to learn to be prepared for college. The standards demonstrate what effective learning should be like in public education. These standards help to shape the future of teaching in many ways within public education. First, they create a guideline that educators should follow when instructing students. This factor is important because if a student leaves one public school district and travels to another in another state, then they can pick up where they left off without missing a beat or being disoriented with learning a new system. Then, the guidelines provide a baseline for educators to develop their practice. The standards help educators develop and refine their technique with these specific goals in mind so they can be uniform in their instruction of students across the country. I cannot wait to continue to study these standards and apply them to my instructional practice. To maintain my disposition in the classroom, I plan to demonstrate ethical behavior in instruction and assessment, including appropriate and ethical considerations with student information and its use. Also, I plan to use feedback from my annual performance evaluations, observation, and data on student performance to adjust my dispositions and teacher practices to benefit learning for both me and my students. Lastly, I plan to continue to strive to be a leader and advocate in the classroom and always seek to make decisions that are in the best interests of my students and myself. After reviewing the resources available, I have discovered two new supports that I find particularly valuable: mentoring programs and professional development workshops. Mentoring programs provide a structured and supportive relationship between experienced and novice educators. This mentorship can offer guidance, advice, and support throughout the early stages of a teaching career. Prince George's County Public Schools offers new hires/teachers a mentorship program. I plan to utilize this mentoring program fully within my professional organization. By participating in a mentoring program, I can benefit from the wisdom and experience of seasoned educators who can provide valuable insights, help me navigate challenges, and offer guidance on best practices in teaching. This support will be invaluable in my professional growth and development as an educator. Professional development workshops provide opportunities to enhance knowledge and skills in a specific teaching area. These workshops are typically led by experts in the field and cover a wide range of topics, such as instructional strategies, assessment techniques, classroom management, and technology integration. PGCPS offers several opportunities for professional development. I intend to actively seek out and participate in professional development workshops aligning with my interests and professional goals. By attending these workshops, I can stay updated on the latest research and best practices in education, expand my teaching toolkit, and network with other educators. This support will enable me to continuously improve my teaching practice and provide the best possible education for my future students. Are there any questions? If no, I want to thank you for your time to listen to my presentation. Have a wonderful day. Here are the references to everything that was cited within the text of my presentation. Here is page 1. Here is page 2. And here is page 3.